Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Punting in Pauper, the show where I do my best to not absolutely punt and stumble through some Pauper games here on MTGO. I'm your host, Gord. Let's take a look at the deck list. So, Mono Black Control. Mana base wise, we're playing 4 Barrenmoors, so that's our cycling land, gets us some redraws. And then we just have Swamps and 1 copy of Witch's Cottage. This will enter the battlefield tapped unless you control 3 or more swamps. Shouldn't be too hard to do. And if it does enter untapped, we will be able to throw a creature from our graveyard back on top of our library, so we can get it, redraw it, get it back into our hand. In the 1-drop slot, we have Defile. So this is a 1 mana. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn for each swamp you control. So scales up as we go on. Gets better later game. Disfigure, same-ish idea. 1 mana. Target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn. And then we have 2 copies of Unearth. So 1 mana, return target creature card with convert mana cost 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Or we can just cycle that away for 2 if we just need to redraw. So we're playing really heavy removal in the main deck here. We have 2 copies. Chainer's Edict, 2 mana. Target player sacrifices a creature, and then we can flash it back for 7. So get some dual use out of that. Running 3 copies of Kumbaj Witches. So 2 mana, 1/3. We can tap it, and it does 1 damage to any target. But then opponent can do 1 damage to any target of their choice, and they usually send it at our face. So. Next up is 3 copies of Geth's Verdict. 2 mana, target player sacrifices a creature and loses a life. And then we have 4 copies of Sign in Blood. So 2 mana, target player draws 2 cards, loses 2 life. We don't typically use this on our opponent to hit them for 2. We're going to use it on ourselves to draw 2. This is our main draw spell. But I have seen events in the past where, late game you just throw Sign in Blood on them and it'll get there. So, alright, 3-drop slot. We have 4 copies of Phyrexian Rager. 3 mana, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, we draw a card, lose a life. So, get some value off it entering, and then we have a 2/2 body leave behind. Next up, Chittering Rats. 3 mana, 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent puts a card from their hand on top of their library. So we just use this to slow our opponents down. If they're missing land drops, it can really, really mess with them. So nice kind of controlling hate card there. I'm playing 2 Choking Sands main deck. We've seen this one before. Destroy target non-swamp land. If the land was a non-basic, it deals 2 damage to its controller. I just have 2 of these main deck just for the Tron and Mystic Sanctuary matchups. Just kind of want to try it out, see how it goes. So, 4-drop, we have Tendrils of Corruption. It deals X damage to target creature, and we gain X life, where X is the number of swamps we control. So 4 mana removal spell, gains some life. Seems good, right? Alright, top end of the curve here. We have an Okiba Gang Shinobi, just 1, but it's a 5 mana, 3/2 Rat Ninja. But we can ninjutsu it out for 4 mana, and whenever the Okiba Gang deals combat damage to an opponent, they have to discard 2 cards. So, can really disrupt them. Gets in for 3, one of my favorite cards in the deck. And then finally, we have the man, the legend, Gary, the Grey Merchant of Asphodel. 5 mana, 2/4. When it enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is our devotion to black. So that's the little pips on the convert mana cost here. On our permanents, not spells that are in the graveyard or anything like that. But that can end up in some really big life swings and can really help us close out some games. So, alright, let's take a quick look at the sideboard. We have 4 copies of Duress, 1 mana. Take a look at our opponent's hand, and we can choose a non-creature, non-land, and make them discard it. So just kind of rip some pieces, some hand disruption. We have 2 copies of Moment of Craving. 2 mana, target creature gets -2/-2 until end of turn, and we gain 2 life. And then we have 2 copies of Distress, which is a 2 mana sorcery. Target player reveals their hand. We choose a non-land card from it, and they discard it. So it's basically Duress with less restrictions. We can just take any card from their hand. I have Crypt Rats, pretty classic card in the deck. It's a 1/1 or 3 mana 1/1, and we can just put X mana into it, and it'll just deal X damage to each creature, each player. It's kind of our sweeper. It's useful. We have 2 more Choking Sands in the sideboard here. Should we need them? 2 Liliana Specters. It's a 2/1 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. And then finally, we have a Nile Spellbomb, which is 1 mana artifact. We can just tap, sack it, and exile all cards from a target player's library. And when it's put into the graveyard, we can pay black, and if we do, we draw a card. So, alright, that's the deck. Let's get into some games here. Alright, Punting and Pauper with some mono black control. We win the die roll, we will play first. Alright, so we have a Guess Verdict, 2 lands, Disfigure, 2 Sign and Bloods. This actually seems pretty good. I think we'll keep this. We'll play our Swamp, and we'll just pass the turn. And if they play something bad for us on turn 1, we will just Disfigure it. Okay, so hopefully they just drop a Delver. Yeah, nice. Alright, on their end step, we're just going to take care of that. Alright. We draw Kumbaj Witches, which I'm okay with getting down now, so it doesn't get countered. We'll resolve that. And that also kills another Delver, if they happen to play one, so... Let's see here. Hopefully we can draw a land. So they're going to preordain. Right, they play Evolving Wilds. So maybe they're looking for black here. So we draw another Kumbaj Witches, which... I think we're okay with just resolving one of those as well. And then we're going to attack for 1. Might seem a little bit silly, but no, you know what? I'll take that back. We're just gonna pass turn because I want one with Summoning Sickness to take care of a Delver if one drops. So they did end up getting another island. Let's see what opponent does here. Okay, so they're going to Brainstorm. Draw 3, then put 2 back on top in any orders. Alright, let me finish that. Let's see what they have here. I think next turn, if we don't draw a line, we're just going to... Okay, so they do find the Swamp. But yeah, I think we're just going to play Sign in Blood and see what happens, depending on what we draw. Draw Unearth. Okay, so that's good to hold on to. We will try to main phase a Sign in Blood. See what happens. It resolves. Okay, and then we can play a Swamp. And then we can hold up a Disfigure. So that seems pretty good. Or an Unearth. Oh, I guess we can't cycle it this turn, but that's okay. Alright, this seems good. Okay, this time we will attack with one of them. Start getting in a little bit. Then we can still hold one up to take care of something if we need to, and then we can still hold up our Disfigure as well if they play anything a little bit bigger than a Delver. So they Mystic Sanctuary. Okay, so they might be getting close to getting their lock. But we'll see. So they got Paramag. Okay. So can we kill that? Yes we can. Because we have Guess Verdict. We draw another Swamp. Pretty good. Yeah, while they're tapped out, we will Guess Verdict them. I think we're going to Sign in Blood again, just to refill our hand a little bit. And then we can leave Witches. We have a Rager to play as a little bit of a bigger threat next turn, and it gives us a redraw, so that's okay. And then if they play another big creature, we have mana and stuff to do next turn. The only thing is we don't really want to swing in with Kumbaj Witches if we can help it. Just because they're a little bit better untapped. Okay, so we'll play a Swamp. We'll try to resolve a Phyrexian Rager. So we'll draw. We get Choking Sands. So that means next turn we can use it, hopefully, to blow up their Mystic Sanctuary, which would be pretty good for us. So we'll leave it like that. We could cycle this Unearth at the end of turn, but we're not really looking for anything crazy yet. Okay, so now they're going to get Tragic Lesson. So they can start doing the Mystic Sanctuary Tragic Lesson thing where they keep putting it back on top, but hopefully we're able to play Choking Sands into that next turn. So they're going to wait till next turn to play it so that they can actually get the effect, which I mean makes much more sense. They're going to Thought Scour, targeting themselves. Okay. So they throw an Agony Warp and a Delver into the bottom. Or sorry, into the graveyard. Something's going to get Agony Warp here. So another Gurmag. I don't think we hate that. They do have the 2 blue open. We can go for a Defile. And then if they counter it, we can still hold up Tendrils, and then we can still kill it this turn. So they're going to Daze, and then they have to return a land. Okay, so that's fine. Sorry. And then we will 1, 2, 3, 4 Tendrils. And now they have no responses. And we have 5 lands, so gain our life back. Okay. Then we'll attack with our Rager. So opponent might Mystic Sanctuary here to put Deprive back on top. Yep. Seems like they do. Opponent still does have a fairly healthy hand at 7 cards, so I mean, certainly not over by any means for them, but okay, so they're going to hold up 4 blue. They don't have any black for Agony Warp though right now, so that's okay. So we'll play a Swamp. And we're going to go to combat. Attack for 2. So now, if we were to Choking Sands their Mystic Sanctuary, they're likely going to Deprive. And then when they Deprive, they're going to pick the Mystic Sanctuary back up, put it back on, be able to do Deprive again. So we don't really want to just play into that counter and give them that ability. It does like put them down a mana, as it were, still, but then that's a 3 mana trade for us. But then we can draw the counter out of their hand. I think we'll just wait till end of their turn and unearth. Or cycle unearth, that is. So they're going to Tragic. Okay, so they have another Tragic Lesson. Okay. This opponent plays their Swamp. Okay. They have no plays this turn. So, what do we draw here? Defile. Oh, we should have cycled our unearth. That was a little bit of a punt, but that's okay. It also is good for getting back our Rager. So, that's one way to look at it. So, alright. We're just going to go in for the 2 points of damage beats here. So we have mana to take care of a Gurmag should they try to play one. So, alright. And again, I don't think there's much point in playing the Choking Sands into the Sanctuary. Okay, so they're going to name Rager. So we're going to unearth that next turn. And they're going to preordain, scry 2, draw a card. Helps keep it consistent. Okay, so they're going to tap it. So I think we're kind of hoping for a Gurmag here. Yeah, okay. So they're leaving up 2 blue. So we draw a Swamp. So we'll play a Swamp. We're going to try to bait out the counter with the Choking Sands on the Mystic Sanctuary. Perfect. And then we'll, in response, and then we're going to unearth our Rager, bring it back. We'll lose a life, but we will regrow. We draw Swamp. Not great, but at least we got it off the top. And I don't think we want to go swinging in with our witches here, so. Still want to leave them up for pings. For the time being, anyways. That might be incorrect, but, I don't know, to me it just feels like. Okay, so, they still have their Mystic Sanctuary, so they're likely going to put the Deprive back, yeah. We might almost be better off going a little bit more aggro in that case. Now that I think about it, just because of the way they're holding so many counters up, I just don't like playing cards into it. As you can see, we had to bait out the other one. So we'll Swamp. And we'll go to combat. They might have a bounce spell here or something, but... Okay, they're going to Brainstorm first. Okay. So they take the 4. Right. And we'll just end our turn. We'd like to... Okay, so they're going to Basic Land Cycle on Ash Barrens. We'd like to find a Gary. It would likely get countered, but if we can somehow find a way to draw that out. So then there's their Tragic Lesson. This is one of those matchups where having Throne of the Black Rose would be a much better addition, just to have the Monarch and to be able to like draw that extra card on our end step. But someone plays another Gurmag, so that's okay. And they have counter magic up. Do they have an effect? Okay, so we do draw the land. Now if we swing in for 2 and they block, then we can 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. But they will have the counter for this. So I think we'll try to Sign in Blood first. And see if they counter that. We draw a Barren. And another Swamp. Alright, well, we will cycle the Barrenmore right now. Get Chainer's Edict. Okay. Well, let's draw the counter out. And then this has flashback, so we can cast it from our graveyard. Hopefully they can't exile our graveyard. So yep, they're going to counter that. We're going to attack for 2 and see if they see right through us. Well, that's fine. We'll tap this to do one here. They're going to do it to us. So that's 3 damage assigned to it. We will Disfigure. Okay, so they got another Mystic Sanctuary. They're going to grab their Preordain. I guess they don't need the counter. They already, or they still have the Deprive in their hand. So. Thing is I do believe that Gurmag might be their only threat in the main deck. Still. Okay, we're just drawing lands like we're getting paid to do it. So I think we're just going to stay aggressive. We'll get in for 2 with our Witches. Alright. So I mean, opponent doesn't know what we have in hand. So it could look like anything. We're just kind of bluffing right now. So there's the Ash Barrens, okay. And, okay, so they have an Echoing Decay. Yep, and then they probably have another... Oh, they're only got blue left. Oh, but they have that Swamp in their hand. They probably haven't played it yet. They're maybe thinking... What, okay, there it is, yeah. So then they'll have a second one, I'm assuming. Well, they're going to preordain, try to find another one, perhaps. I mean, we're really happy if they whiff here. Okay, yeah. Woo! We got there. Alright, sideboard. What do we want against the Delver? Well, Spellbomb to exile their graveyard seems okay. Do we want some hand disruption, perhaps? Bring in some duresses. Don't really need Crypt Rats, I don't think. Like, we have our ways of taking care of Delver. Or, sorry, well, yeah, Delver, but we also need to consider taking care of Gurmag Angler. So we're bringing our duresses and our Nile Spellbomb. Go down the Choking Sands for now. Go down to Kumbaj Witches. We want the Spectre. Make them discard. Just like ripping pieces is nice with like duress and stuff and distress, but I feel like as far as just making them discard, it's not hard for them to fill up their hand and not really need to discard. So. Let's try it like that. Okay, we have... it's a little slow. We need to draw lands, but we are on the draw. And we can turn one to fire. So I think we'll try it. Wilds. Okay. Duress. Okay, perfect. So we will Swamp and Duress him. Let's rip a brainstorm. And past our opponent. So hopefully we still draw that land next turn. So yep, they preordain. There's a swamp. And the relic. And they're gonna make us exile our Duress, eh? That's okay. We draw Unearth. Not great for us, but we will we'll just play out the bearing more. And pass the turn. Kinda sucks playing a tap land there on our turn too. We can hold up the Defile if they try to get down to threat, but there is, like, I suppose, the potential that they just side out or really wait on playing their Delvers. Okay, so Point Thought Scours. Just with the graveyard hate they have. So there's Augur. So we can't defile that, unfortunately. Hopefully we draw a land here. We do, and they're tapped out. So we will Chittering Rats. Okay, so they're just gonna pass. I'm gonna assume they have a counter in hand. We draw a land. Hold our Defile for now. We don't want to take a turn off either, though. Do we just hold this up for cycling? Let's see what our opponent does. Or we want to get the counter out of their hand now. And then if we try to unearth, they're probably just going to snap Relic in response. So I think what we do, we'll pay 2 black. Yeah, because we can't do that in response. Man, if this was an instant... let's go for it. Get it out of their hand. Yeah, you got it. We'll defile this. Well, they have no responses. If we can get in for 2 this turn. Yep, you got it. Okay. We'll go to attacks. We'll get in for 2. So if we draw a land next turn, we might try to resolve a Gary, depending on how opponent taps. They have another Evolving Wilds, alright. So they're just gonna pass. So it looks like Wonders. We'll play out our Swamp. And we'll just attack for 2 this turn. We could try to resolve a Gary, and then go for an Unearth. But they could have potentially another Relic. But how many would they have sideboard? I think we're just going to go for it. We're going to try to play Gary. If it gets countered, we'll unearth it. Oh no, we can't unearth it. CMC 3 of us. Okay. Yep, they had the counter. Alright. So they're just holding up counter magic. So we'll attack. And we'll see what they play next turn. They're gonna Tragic Lesson. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, opponent's drawing a lot of cards. And then they're gonna Thought Scour. Okay. We draw Sign in Blood. We'll try Sign in Blood. Resolves. Play a land. We'll try to play a Nile Spellbomb. Resolves. Okay, good. We'll attack for 2. They're gonna Agony Warp. They have 2 open. Let's go for it. Let's try to unearth. Okay. It's going to be quite the matchup. Thorn, eh? And into the battlefield, they become the monarch. We're just going to kill it. Chainer's Edict. Not terrible, but I think we are just going to drop a Gary, gain 2, they lose 2. Not the big blowout that Gary can usually pull off, but they are tapped out, and this does give us a decent body, so. And now if they try to Mystic Sanctuary, we can crack our Nile Spellbomb, and draw a card off that too, so they do just do a snow-covered island. I can't do this in response, hey? That kind of stinks. Okay. Resolves. Scry 2 draw. Okay. Let's go to their end step. Response. We're gonna crack. Exile their lab. Hopefully I did this right. Yep, we did. And we draw a Witch's Cottage. Okay, so that helps us redraw one of our creatures. We draw Kumbaj Witches. So we'll play our Witch's Cottage. We will put... We'll put Gary on top. Then we will Kumbaj Witches. And then... I guess here we just have to pass the turn. We're taking 5 from the Gurmag for sure. Opponent has 5 cards in hand. We are starting to kind of fall behind here. Yeah, there's the Tragic Lesson. Preordain, okay. Scry 2 draw. Snow Augur, okay. Okay, and they do have the 2 blue. Darn it. Alright. Hopefully we draw something that draws out a counterspell. Oh, we're gonna draw Gary, so that will draw out the counterspell, right? Realistically speaking. Yep. Okay. Now the only problem with this is they're just gonna sack the Augur. But then we can flash it back. Hopefully. Hopefully. We really started to slip behind on this one. I don't know if we can really come back. But there is still hope, so I'm just gonna see what happens here. Play it out. So remember, guys, can block only creatures with flying and undying. Okay. So can't block our stuff. Flashbacking and chain energy. Okay. We'll do one more draw here. See what we get. But I'm not feeling super confident. Okay, so they have the Diabolic Edict now. They only have a 1 land open. So yeah, we'll see what we draw, but this one's likely over for us. We'll probably scoop it up. Okay. Yep, no blocks. Let's draw another card. Yep. Okay, let's see what we draw here. We gotta sell the swamp. So we flash back. Well, we'll play it out. Yeah, but then they're gonna Diabolic us, right? And then we go down, yeah. I think this is good as done. Yeah, and it has Undying, so yeah, that was a bit of a punt into that, and we're just gonna scoop it up. We'll go to the next one. Look down on there, so. Okay. We are going to... Yeah. I don't think the list we had was all that bad. I think we just kind of had maybe some weird-ish running. Do we want to bring in Moment of Cravings? Well, Kiba Gang is great. We just haven't seen one yet. I think we'll go down it though because we're not likely to see it. So we have some more removal brought in. But if we're going to play Moment of Cravings, we might as well play just Disfigure. At that rate. Crit Rats? Do we want Crit Rats? I think we do, because it would have gotten us out of that hole and maybe even won us the game there. So we'll go up some Crit Rats. We will go down one of the Duresses. We will go down one Gary. We'll run one Disfigure. We'll try it like this. So we're going to be on the play this turn. And we have 2 lands. I think this is okay, as long as we draw another land. So we'll keep this. We're going to play this tapped on turn 1. So there's some redraws on our Ragers as long as we hit that other land. So play Baron more and go. If we don't draw a land next turn, we will just sign in blood. We should hit one off that. They're the Preordain. Okay. Defile. Not bad. But we'll sign in blood. And we don't hit a land, unfortunately, so that's okay. We will hopefully draw one next turn, resolve a Rager. But if not, we will Duress, likely, just to try and rip something out of their hand. They're going to Augur. Okay. Makes sense. So they get Diabolic Edict. That's fine. We draw a land. Don't think we're going to Rager, though. I think we're just going to Chainer's Edict, get into our graveyard. Or do we really want that redraw? I think we want that redraw, and we want to make them use their Diabolic Edict on this Rager. Yeah, I think that was the right play. I guess we could have ripped it with Duress. But that's okay, we can try maybe next time. We'll see what they do here. We are running low on the clock, so we have to keep that in mind. Make sure that we don't just run out of time, lose that way. Somebody Preordain. Okay. Another snow-covered island. Alright. We draw ourselves another swamp. So we will go Duress you. We will rip the Echoing Trees, I think. Then I think we'll just Chainer's Edict. Save the Defile for something a little bigger. Okay. And then we'll go to combat. Attack for 2. And then next turn, all things being equal, I think we might either Gary or Rager, depending on what opponent is doing. Sanctuary? Okay. So they're going to get back, I'm guessing Echoing Truth, because that's what we ripped. And they know we're afraid of it. Preordain? Targeting? Yeah. So they're going to actually get Preordain, so okay. They're going to Thought Scour. And they're going to Preordain. And they're going to Augur. Okay. So what are they going to get? Deprive. Okay. Okay, so on their end step, we will Defile this? Yeah, I think we will. We draw another Swamp, so we play Swamp. They're tapped out. Let's play our Gary. Do a bit of a swing. Increase our clock a little bit. As far as we know, they don't have any other creatures in their hand. As far as we know. And then we don't just get blown up by an Echoing Truth. Yet. We're gonna brainstorm. Potentially looking for a black source. So they found the Evolving Wilds. So they'll have the black source next turn. Okay, so they got... Can only block creatures with flying, though. So that's okay, we can still get in for 4 this turn. We draw Geth's Verdict. Okay, so we will... Okay. We're gonna go to combat. This. Opponent for 4. Then on our second main, we'll play out another Rager. Holding up Geth's Verdict. Let's see what we draw. Draw a second Geth's Verdict. That's actually pretty good. Alright. And we're only 1 mana away from being able to flashback Chainer's Edict. Is this Skirmag? Yep, it is. Let's see, and a Relic. Okay. They're just gonna do it now. Okay. They're probably gonna get in for 2. Nope. Okay. Well, let's draw the counter out with the Geth's Verdict. Sure. Okay. Draw. Sign in Blood. Well, first things first. Let's sign in Blood. Great Merchant. Let's Defile. Yeah, this worked out well. 2, 4, 6. Yeah, we're gonna go for the more aggressive play, I think. So make them sack, lose 1. Okay, alright, it comes back. That was a big old punt. That sucks. But is what it is, I suppose. We'll still do our thing. So we might still get there. They have a lot of work to do. But these decks, they can be crazy. They got 4 cards in hand, ton of mana. But if we can resolve a Grey Merchant... Okay, so we sack creature. Yep, we'll sack a Rager. Get in for 3, okay. Okay, we'll play a Swamp. We are going to swing in, get them to use whatever they have in hand. If they have anything in hand. Did we win? Nope, not yet. Agony Warp. So, -3 here, okay. Do we still get there, though? Oh, -1, yeah, okay. Okay. Yeah, that gives them another turn. Because it appears they have a counter spell open still. We have 6. We don't have enough to do both. I think we're going to go for the redraw. Oh, man. We have one too many. We'll Rager, see what we can draw. Okay. Kumbaj Witches. Play Kumbaj Witches. Keep the pressure. Okay. End it there. opponent gives us the GGs. We'll see, though. Alright, we got there. That was a heck of a grind. That was a really, really fun matchup. I'll just GG's the opponent. So, yeah, wow. Whew, okay, on to the next one. Alright, so we do have a defile if we need it. Yeah, I think we'll keep this. Hopefully we draw land. Okay, so we will swamp. And not. We have no target. Okay, we'll just pass the turn. Let's see what opponent does. Says their deck is no fun, so maybe it will be fun. Okay, so they just have Ashburns out. Okay. Seems good. We draw Okiba Gang. So we'll play our swamp, and we'll run out a Kumbaj Witches. Alright. Hopefully we draw our third, and we Chittering Rats next turn. So plays colorless. Opponent taps for colorless, plays a swamp, and then type out. Yeah. Okay. Witches. End step, no effects, land. Sign in blood. Okay, we'll sign in blood. Hopefully draw a land off that. You. So that's fine, and we can defile if they play a threat. And then hopefully they just tap out or something, and we can resolve the Chittering Rats. They're gonna Aqueduct, okay. And then they land Cyclone Ash Barrens. Alright. And they grab an island. So we're gonna Chittering Rats. Make them put one back. And we're gonna just play out our bear. Consult the Necrosages. Target player draws 2 cards, targeting themselves. Okay. That's good. They play Island. We're gonna Disfigure. That's okay. So we're gonna go to combat. We're gonna attack. We're gonna do our Okiba. Ninjutsu in. And we'll return the Chittering Rats to hand. Hit them for 3, and then make them discard 2. And then we can replay our Chittering Rats next turn, hopefully. Ooh, they discard 2 swamps. So they play another swamp. And Ball Drifter. Okay. So they're gonna draw 2. We will Disfigure that. And we're gonna make them discard 2, and then we're gonna make them put 1 back on top, so. We draw swamp. Play swamp. We will Disfigure. Small Drifter's gonna die. We'll go to combat with our Okiba Gang. Get him for 3. So they discard 2. Discarding 2 more swamps. Okay, now we play Chittering Rats. And then that makes them put 1 back on top. So, okay, we can hold up a Defile. Still in a pretty decent position here, but I have really no idea what opponent's playing. I've never seen this deck before, and I don't think I've ever seen the card of Consult the Necrosages. Pretty cool, though. So they're going to Chittering Rats us, so that's okay. We will put Defile back. And on their end step, I think we're going to try to Defile their Rats. Alright. This helps us get in for 5. Keep our pressure up. Make them discard 2 cards. Edict Agony Warp. Yep, makes sense. Okay. So no damage this turn. Fortunately, we can't unearth an Okiba Gang. Okiba Gang. Oh my gosh. So do we want to play anything else here? Let's Gary. Do a 4 life swing. Alright. So they're gonna Necrosages. Okay. Draw 2. Evolving Wilds. Okay, so they got 2 mana open, so they can probably Agony Warp us. Let's see what we got. Witch's Cottage. Yeah, we'll play Witch's Cottage. We'll put Akiba Gang back on top. And then we'll go to combat. Or, if they want to Agony Warp our rats, then we just unearth it. Next turn. So they're down to 6. Perfect. So they're gonna Chitting Rats, so that's gonna stop us from drawing Akiba Gang next turn. Is there any way we can win next turn? Or do we want to draw Akiba Gang now? I think we just let it resolve. We'll put Defile back on top. Let's go to combat. Attack with both. Good block. Yep. We will attempt to unearth our Chitting Rats. They have the counter. Yep. You got it. We're gonna draw Akiba next turn, unless they have another Chitting Rats, in which case we're gonna draw Defile. Okay. Big creature here. There's the Dinrova. Okay. So we have to pick up Grey Merchant, then discard. And we're gonna discard... Oh, they're gonna make us pick up Witch's Cottage? Interesting, okay. We'll discard the Witch's Cottage. Okay. End step. We'll Defile that. Akiba. Go to combat. Attack. Ninjutsu. Return Grey Merchant. Get him for 3, and then they have to discard the last 2 cards in their hand. Down to 1. Okay, perfect. Sideways. So opponent's just kind of playing like a Dimir value sort of deck. I don't think we're super worried about the graveyard right now. We're gonna go down our Choking Sands, I think. And we'll bring in... I think we're just gonna go up 2 Duresses. Rip some pieces. Cool, run it like that. Okay, so we have 2 mana, Kumbaj Witches, 2 files, 13 Major for redraw on the draw. I think we'll keep this. One plays a Forest, wow, okay. And Navigator's comes, wow, this deck just changed. We get Akiba Gang, so okay, we'll play our Swamp. And cycles Ashbarrens, you got it. We draw Sign Blood. So we'll Swamp, Sign Blood. We could have Kumbaj Witches there. That was a big time misplay. Yikes. Oh. Oh, silly guy. Okay, well. I think we're going to discard the Geth's Verdict. Yeah, that one really hurt us. Yikes. Should have just made our Witches out, but that's okay. His opponent's Sultai? Okay. Draw a second Grey Merchant, so we'll just run out our Kumbaj Witches now. Hopefully. Okay, so it resolves. They may have a removal spell. Looks like they do. Agony Warp? Okay, resolve. So they just pass. No land drop, so that's good, but we don't have much for land drops either lately. We'll play a Phyrexian Rager. We draw another land off it if it resolves. Looks like opponent was thinking about it for a second. Okay, that's not too bad. We can use that to get back something. Opponent plays Chainer's Edict. Okay, You got it. We'll sack the Rager. We draw another swamp. So, we can just hardcast? No, we can't. Well, let's unearth our Rager. And we draw Sign in Blood. No, we're not silly enough to just play that into discard again, so... Okay, we'll leave it like that. Hold up some removal. Ooh, opponent's still missing land drops by the look of it. Okay, well that's good for us. Well, we're gonna go to combat. And we'll ninjutsu in Kiba Gang. Picking that back up. Get him for 3, make him discard 2. Oh, they're gonna bounce it. Oh, they're gonna prevent combat damage, so that makes sense. We go to discard, and we're gonna dump a Gary, I think. Do we want to do the Geth's Verdict? Because Gary can just like start winning for us if they miss out on land drops. So yeah, we're gonna get a little greedy. Throw the Geth's Verdict in. One plays Navigator's Compass. Okay, so they're gonna gain no land. So that's mostly okay for us. Now they can fix for their counter spells by the looks of it. Okay, let's go to combat first. They might flashback their moments. No, they don't have enough mana to flashback their moments piece yet. Oh, they had a second one. Okay. So that's fine. We will play Chittering Rats. Put one back on top. So they're not drawing a land next turn now. We're gonna assume. They're going to 3 mana for a Muldrifter evoked. Okay. Get to draw 2. They might hit their land drop here. Their Muldrifter is gonna die though. We're gonna Dimir Aqueduct. So they did hit their land. They got a bounce one. Alright. Land. 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 Rexian Rager. Okay. So in that case, go to combat. Attack. Get in 4/5. We can discard 2. Fatigue. Target player skips their next draw step. Interesting. And a counter spell. Okay. We'll play out a Rager, just have another body. We're gonna have to discard something again, but let's see what we draw. Another Rager. Okay. And we'll discard one of those. We can unearth it if we hit one, so. This opponent has 5 mana now. They can start flashbacking their moments pieces. So we'll play a swamp. We'll attack with everything first. So they moments piece, sure. And then we're gonna try to Gary. We might have a counter in hand. We'll get them to use it though. Sure. So we have 2 more in hand, so we're not super worried. Okay. So we do hit an unearth. Attack with everything again. Make them flashback their moments piece. So no, nothing happens. And we'll try to Gary again. You got it. Alright. Okay, opponent taps out. Virgin Rova Horror. That's fine. So they're going to return Okiba. And we will discard... We'll discard a Rager. So that's fine. Hopefully we draw a land. Tendrils of Corruption. So we can go Gary for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or we can Defile and Akiba, which might be better. Let's do that. Let's Defile this. Okay, then let's go to combat. Alright. And then we'll Ninjutsu. And we'll put Trading Rounds back in our hand. Get in for 5. And make them discard the last card in their hand. It was another Dinrova, so yeah, I'm glad we did that. Opponent plays Chainer's Edict, that's fine. We'll get rid of it. So we'll play our Swamp. Let's unearth for a Rager. Okay. And then let's... Yeah, they got no cards in hand. Let's cast Gary. Do a swing. Get our health back up to a healthy total. Okay, opponent says they're not coming back from this. Alright. Alright, cool. We built Sultai Value? I don't know, I'll have to look up and see what archetype this is. It was a great game, great opponent. Alright. Alright, so how did we do Punting and Pauper this week with mono black control? Well, the deck did great, and it really comes as no surprise. This is one of the more popular decks in the format. It's very consistent, and it gets results. So it's a large percentage of the meta, and for good reason. Now, we were missing 2 key cards from the list. This was more of a budget build. The first one being Thorn of the Black Rose, which our opponent played in game 1 against us. And what that card does is it's a 1/3 Death Toucher, but it supplies you with the Monarch, which really generates a lot of card advantage. So you see in the game that they beat us, they were getting the card advantage at the end with the Monarch thanks to the Thorn. So usually you want to run those. They're quite expensive, so I didn't run them in this list. Now the other card being Oubliette. Now I actually do have Oubliettes, but I left them out this time just to try Choking Sands in the main. And what this card does is it's basically Journey to Nowhere. Long story short, it's an enchantment, comes to the battlefield, exile a creature. But what it does is it adds pips to our devotion count. So when we're playing our Grey Merchants, we get a little bit more damage off that way. So I would add those for sure. But other than that, the deck did really well. We won in 3 against Blue Black Delver, and that was a heck of a grindy matchup. We really had to stay the course on that one, right, and really see it through to the end. So it was good. It was a really good matchup, and those were 2 tier decks kind of running up against each other. So now you kind of know how that matchup kind of plays out. It could have gone either way, really, right? Now in the second game, opponent was playing more of a homebrew kind of Sultai list, and it was a really cool deck. We were just able to kind of answer everything they had, even when they were throwing the Dinrova horrors at us late game. We were able to just remove them and then kind of establish a really dominating board presence. And we had a Kiba Gang Shinobis, which was making our opponent discard quite a lot of cards. So that hand disruption really also helped us kind of pull through. So yeah, the deck is great. It's really cheap, minus the Thorns of the Black Rose. So we're checking out if you're on a budget. I just want to thank you all again for joining me here on Punting and Pauper, and I look forward to seeing you again next time.